Commander William Riker, Jonathan Frakes, and Counselor Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis, may not have officially gotten together on Star Trek: The Next Generation, but these episodes proved they were always meant to be. When TNG began, Commander Will Riker had just become first officer of the newly launched USS Enterprise D under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart. Troi held the position of ship's counselor, while also serving as an advisor for Captain Picard. Troi and Riker were inspired by Lieutenant Ilia, Persis Kambata, and Captain Will Decker, Stephen Collins, who were originally going to be characters in Star Trek: Phase 2. After this project fell through, Ilia and Decker appeared in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, but TNG used their characters' original story as a template for Troi and Riker. As a half-betazoid, Deanna could sense the emotions of those around her, but she had a special connection with Will. Riker was a Starfleet officer through and through, and he chose to focus on his career rather than continue his romance with Troi. Although Riker and Troi remained platonic during their 7 years on Star Trek: The Next Generation, the flame between the two Imzadi wasn't extinguished, as these episodes attest. 7. Encounter at Farpoint. Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2. In its series premiere, Star Trek: The Next Generation made it clear that Riker and Troi have a history, and their first meeting aboard the USS Enterprise D is full of tension. Troi even speaks to Riker telepathically, asking him if he remembers what she taught him. While this implies that Will could also speak to Deanna telepathically, he seems to have lost the skill over time. This ability is never referenced again. Troi also refers to Riker as her Imzadi, a betazoid word meaning beloved that can be platonic or romantic. Riker and Troi refer to one another as Imzadi throughout TNG, even when they are not involved romantically. In their first meeting on screen, Troi and Riker cannot keep their eyes off of one another, making it clear that there are still unresolved feelings between the pair. 6. The Naked Now. Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 3. When the crew members aboard the Enterprise are infected by a strange virus in The Naked Now, they begin behaving as though they are intoxicated. Counselor Troi soon becomes overwhelmed by the surging emotions of everyone on the ship. Searching for an outlet for her feelings, Deanna seeks out Commander Riker in engineering and states her desire to be alone with him. Riker clearly desires Deanna as well, but he knows that she is not behaving like herself. Realizing that the virus has infected Troi, Riker picks her up and carries her to sickbay. It's an incredibly sweet scene that shows how much Riker truly cares for Deanna. He respects her far too much to take advantage of her intoxicated state, and he's more worried about her health than anything else. This scene makes Riker even more attractive, as he puts aside his own desire to take care of his Imzadi. 5. Haven. Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 11. In Haven, Deanna's mother, Lwaxana Troi, Majel Barrett, comes aboard the Enterprise with the news that it's time for Deanna's previously arranged marriage to take place. Deanna was promised to marry a human named Wyatt Miller, Robert Nepper, when she was young, and his parents decided to enforce the match. As Deanna and Wyatt try to get to know one another, Riker struggles to accept the situation. Riker clearly does not want Deanna to marry Wyatt and leave the Enterprise, but he will respect whatever she chooses to do. When Troi finds Riker brooding on the holodeck, she reminds him that Imzadi can also refer to platonic love, but he struggles with that concept, too. Ultimately, Riker simply wants Deanna to be happy, and if that means marrying Wyatt, he won't stand in her way. And if that's not true love, then I don't know what is. 4. The Price. Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 8. In Star Trek: The Next Generation's The Price, a negotiator named Devanoni Ral, Matt McCoy, comes aboard the Enterprise to help the Ferengi negotiate for control of a supposedly stable wormhole. Soon after Ral arrives on the Enterprise, he falls into a passionate romance with Deanna Troi. Commander Riker steps in to negotiate on behalf of the Federation, and as he discusses the situation with Ral remarks that both men love Troi. Ral then points out that Riker lost Troi and now Ral is going to take her. Riker gets the last word by saying, "If you can bring happiness into Deanna's life, nothing would please me more. Deanna is just the woman to bring some meaning to your sorry existence." In the end, it's apparent Ral and Troi are not a good match, and it doesn't help that Ral comes across as sleazy, especially in comparison to Riker. 3. Menage a Troi. Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 24. When Lwaxana Troi comes aboard the Enterprise in Menage a Troi, she insists on meddling in her daughter's life. Troi and Riker try to get away for a while by taking shore leave on Bethesda, planning a romantic picnic and even sharing a kiss. This suggests they may have been involved throughout their time on TNG even when they weren't officially a couple. Soon after, Lwaxana interrupts Troi and Riker's date. The three of them are kidnapped by Ferengi.